Welcome to the lecture videos on Chapter 29 on magnetic fields. In this set of videos, we're going to go through and really actually focus not on what causes magnetic fields, but briefly talk about what they are and more how you can go from finding a magnetic field or knowing a magnetic field to the forces that it produces on an object and some of the implications that has. So we'll start out with just a what is a magnetic field introduction, and then we'll say, okay, magnetic fields produce magnetic forces. We're going to talk about how that shows up on moving charges. Basically, those are things that get pushed by magnetic fields as moving charges. Since there are moving charges in current-carrying wires, we'll talk about the magnetic force on an electrical current in a wire. Then we'll get into a review of cross products, because you'll find that cross products are going to show up all over the place in magnetic stuff. So we'll talk about how unit vectors and how they show up and properties of cross products and so on and so forth. And then we're going to move into magnetic dipole moments and the torques on current carrying loops. So magnetic dipole moments are similar to electric dipole moments. They are basically, roughly speaking, like how strong is our magnet, then which direction is it pointed. That's the description of a magnetic dipole moment. And then we'll talk about how a current carrying loop is going to be twisted from the forces on the different parts on it and how you can find out how large that is. And then if you just have a free moving charge in a magnetic field, we'll say what's the kind of trajectory, what shape does it take, and we'll talk about both in case of sort of moving in a circle. We'll find the answer basically it's a circle or more generally a helix in a uniform magnetic field, which is what we'll focus on. Once we get into kind of like, here are the forces, here are what shows up in the here's how it makes torques, here's how the shape it makes for a moving charge on it. We'll get into different applications on it, and we'll talk a little bit about something called the Hall effect, which can be useful for measuring magnetic fields, for example. So that's what we're going to cover in this chapter.